files, Chair.
Now, actually, the agenda as it is
But we
you
don't have it.
you don't even have a file.
Yes.
You don't have the agenda file.
So we don't even have that.
We are sharing one with the...
Number 2, to review our work plan for the remainder of the days of the session. Number 3, to meet with Nairobi County Assembly, and then any other business. Could we
says acknowledge receipt of your summon dated first. The first letter.
Who signed that letter?
It was signed by the
That
governor.
does not sound like the handwriting of the governor.
No, it was signed by the governor, Jonathan Lati.
Can that letter be circulated just to members so that if you don't have a hard copy, you can do a soft copy?
Okay. The second letter is a request for postponement of appearance before the committee. It reads, reference is made to your summons dated 1st December 2025, inviting me to appear before the County Public Accounts Committee on 9th December 2025. Wish to respectfully inform you that I will be unable to attend the scheduled meeting due to the ongoing conflict in Kulu between two communities at the border point of Samburu and Isiolo, which is caused by drought and scarcity of pasture and water for livestock. We have initiated a peace talk between the leadership of Samburu and Isiolo County on the same date. It is in view of the above, we kindly request the Senate Committee to schedule the appearance to a later date. We remain fully committed to the principle of cooperation, transparency, and accountability. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused. Again, this is signed by the Governor, Jonathan Lati.
Is the IG in copy in any of those correspondences?
Yes.
Both of them? Both of them?
Yes.
The Inspector General has been copied in?
Yes.
Again, circulate that. What are the...
The third is a copy of a check that was done in favor of the Senate.
Is there any narration to that?
No. In the first letter, they have referred to the check. We have complied with the fine attached. Is a check of 500,000.
The decision that it be produced first, I thought they should be sequencing and procedure. The IG should produce him first, then he gives us the explanation as to why he has not appeared and disrespected this committee. Then it will be upon the committee to pronounce the fine and any other further consequence. So it was not his discretion to go and say, let me pay the check, I will cooperate with the committee. It was no longer on him. That thing had shifted completely to the Inspector General of Police to produce. So we should be now calling upon the Inspector General of Police to tell us where is Governor Elite. It is no longer on the governor.
Yeah. Senator Ombo?
I don't agree with Cheragaya in a lot of things, but on this one, you know, where does responsibility lie? No, the responsibility has shifted from the governor to the IG. The governor cannot be telling us, I cannot be arrested and presented today. I can be arrested and presented another day. That is not him to tell us. It is the IG to tell us, I went to bring this man before you and deduct, or I could not find him. The conversation really is not with the governor, it should be with the IG. That's the way I look at it, I think.
Senator Lelegwe could benefit from your local...
Chair, this is the 5th time this governor is writing such kind of letters to this committee. This committee made an order that he be produced by the IG today. I don't know where he got the opportunity now to write letters on us, again requesting further postponement. Secondly, I'm here with Senator Isiolo County, and the governor is alleging that there is a conflict between the herders of the two counties. There is no such conflict. Senator Dulo is here. There is no such conflict. Yes, there is drought. People are grazing. We've not had any fight between the two communities. So the governor is lying. There was a long time ago, but there was no such fight for the last 2 weeks. So I don't know how our standing order says about when someone is summoned, he fails, he is fined, and a letter is sent to the IG to be produced. And again, without us following with the IG that why you have not produced such a person to appear before this committee. And here now we are discussing again a letter requesting a further postponement. Clearly, this governor is telling us that he will not appear before this committee to give his feedback or give information on the report of the Auditor General.
I think, Chair, in addition, just 30 seconds, is the only conflict we're aware which has been reported here. I think it was along Meru and Isiolo, which the security handling. Number one, even if this governor wants to be remorseful, he should have even appeared on his own before we even demand the Inspector General to explain where the suspect is. So he is a fugitive of justice. Because what we are doing, Chair, and I want to repeat, and I've said this one a million times, what we are doing is a constitutional obligation under Article 229 of the Constitution of Kenya that says Parliament shall consider all the audit reports, which means it's a constitutional obligation. So when you look at leadership, the leadership and integrity chapter, on leadership and integrity chapter 6, the governor has violated, and what is amounting is even an impeachable offense, because he is violating the Constitution by failing to come and account for the resources that it has been allocated to Samburu County. So in fact, he has violated Chapter 6. It is impeachable offense that he is committing. So in fact, Senator Lilegwe, the MCAs of Samburu should do the needful, because these are grounds for impeachment.
Chair, so for your information, Chair, we are also leaders of those counties, and if there was an insecurity issue, then we could have been there, even ourselves, or aware. And so I don't know if the governor is in charge of security, I don't know. Because he's telling us that he's there because of insecurity, and there is no insecurity in that committee. Clearly, what we are seeing here, the governor does not want to appear before this committee to account on issues raised by the Auditor General.
Senator Adulo, Isiolo has been mentioned in that letter.
Chair, there has been a security issue between Isiolo and Samburu that happened 2 weeks ago. But as alleged in the letter that the committee is set to deal with those insecurity issues, that is a lie. Secondly, the governor is not a security officer who should be on the ground to deal with insecurity. I have spoken to DIG this morning, and they're the ones who are handling issues of insecurity between Isiolo and Samburu. So therefore, what he's alleging in the letter is null and void. I thank you.
Now, members, I think we just need to agree on the direction things are taking. Last week, we addressed ourselves to the governor and addressed ourselves to the IG of police. To the governor, we addressed ourselves on the matter of the fine. Clerk, can you confirm that a letter was sent to the governor communicating our decision to impose a fine on him?
Yes, Chair, I do confirm.
So we addressed ourselves to the governor that he has been fined, and he should expect the IG to bring him here, or he should bring himself. Or what was the content of that letter?
The content, let me just read it.
We would expect that you would have communicated the decision of the Senate, perhaps the decision verbatim, because it was well argued. It was well argued. It was not just an haphazard thing. I'd asked the legal team to craft it. So, even as you look for it, the obligation of the governor was to purge the contempt, and purging the contempt is by paying the fine and appearing before this committee to explain himself and to provide accountability for the resources. So paying a fine alone does not purge the contempt. paying a fine does not purge the contempt. But now, in terms of compelling his appearance, we had referred to the Inspector General of Police and asked him, I'm being careful not to say directed him, because their constitution says they can't be directed, and yet the president directs them every other day. But we had asked the IG to produce the governor. In my view, we must still hold the IG to account. If we wrote a letter to him on the 4th of December, the governor is not here, we are only seeing checks, that does not purge the contempt fully. So could we then agree that by resolution, we must demand from the IG why he did not act on the resolution of the Senate, as was communicated to him on the 4th? Because I think now the responsibility shifts from the governor. If the governor could have presented himself, that then would not need to demand anything from the IG. But now that the governor has not presented himself, we go back to the IG and we demand from the IG to either produce the governor or to provide a reason why the governor cannot appear before this committee. Is there any other option?
I think that is the best direction that we are supposed to take, because the instructions were purely issued to IG to produce a governor. The governor chose not to appear, the IG has not communicated. I think that's the only way we can get out of this arrangement.
Vice Chair?
Yeah, Chair, I don't know, the IG then becomes a witness. And so I think we would go through the process of inviting him the first time to give us information. And the second time, then the third time we find him and summon him. Or what is the process?
Yeah, I've previously fined an IG. I think it was Mutiambai. Mutiambai. I previously
watch a lot of videos of Mutembe. Because that's an online blogger.
Yeah, I previously fined an IG, and he was extremely scared because the contempt, we were in the devolution committee and we were inquiring into illegal acquisition of land meant for doctors at Pumwani Hospital. And we gave the IG some instructions which they defied. And I think the IG also became an interested party protecting some of the parties there. So we resolved to fine him. And he came before the committee, he was cowed, he was very, so it is possible. Let us not fear. The Inspector General of Police is an office just like any other. So what the Vice Chair is saying is that we are not summoning him at the first instance. We must demand an explanation as to why the governor for Samburu was not produced today. Now, if that explanation is not satisfactory, we can proceed with the other, sanctions that are available to us within law. So, clerks, let's craft it properly, because we are dealing with a sensitive institution, but he must explain why this governor is not here, because it is not for the governor to decide whether he should be produced or not. He has done his bit by paying the fine, but the contempt is purged only when the governor appears and explains how he spent public resources. Could we then allow we can guide the clerks in terms of ensuring that it is legally sound, the kind of correspondence that goes out to the IG? Okay.
Chair, in fact, when that letter goes, the IG must come himself, because he's a witness, to tell us what were the challenges of not producing the witness. You have seen even courts have made decisions where the DIG, if you remember the Masengeli, when he was the acting IG, he appeared before the court. So even as we draft...
After 10 summons?
Yes, after 10 summons. But this one will appear on first summons. So, Chair, I think the Malcolm, we should draft in such a way that the IG must appear to come and explain why the witness did not appear, because that's a constitutional obligation. We are dealing higher than the statutory obligation. So he must come here to tell us what really happened. Because we don't want this issue of sending letters, because it should not appear that he has an option of sending the letter. He must be here the way Mutiambai appeared before this committee, alongside, and also we can even ask further questions for clarity. Does the governor sit in county security committee meeting, which some of us legally they don't? so that Kenyans also are aware that when people just speak outside there, they just speak for political expedience.
Okay, fine. So I think that's, that enriches the decision. We can make sure that that correspondence goes out before the close of the week. Let's move to the next agenda. The next agenda was to review our work plan for the remainder of the session. Just to give a little bit of a background, initially the House was supposed to rise not on the 5th, but on 27th.
Yes.
Was it 27th? It was on that basis that we sought leave of the House to sit beyond that time to allow us to clear some of the issues that were before us. Yeah, and also to sit early next year to start our program. But traditionally,